Well, welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Paul, and you're watching Roads and Rails Hobbies. Well, folks, in today's video, I've got something really cool to show you. Something that I designed for a really cool casting, and that casting is the Hot Wheels 83 Silverado. And folks, this was designed by Junimai, and if you know, you know, but if you don't, Junimai is the brainchild behind the brand Kaido House. This is his baby. And these are actually really awesome diecast vehicles. Quite a bit more expensive than your standard Hot Wheel, but well worth it in my opinion. But back to it. The 83 Silverado Casting. This is one of my top 5 favorites. For the simple reason that I'm an old fart. You know, folks, I'm 51 years old and I grew up in the square body era. And when I see this pickup truck or this casting, or any square body, it brings back so many great memories of me riding around in my dad's 74 Chevrolet Custom Deluxe, mustard yellow even, that had more holes in the floorboards than it had floorboards left. But those were great times. And like I said, it just brings back really great memories. But when you have a pickup truck and you have a bed, well, that bed needs something to put in it. You can't just drive around with an empty bed because, well, it's a pickup. You need to pick it up, right? So that led me to design something that I think is really super cool, something that I have been looking on the internet for, and I couldn't find anything that was, well, up to my standards, to be quite frank with you. I have certain ways of doing things and certain standards of how I want something to look, and I don't want to buy something that, well, is below those standards. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound snobby, or I'm not trying to be against anybody who's just learning how to design or throwing stuff out there. You know, go for it, keep getting better. But I wanted something better than I could find. So I designed something myself. And what I designed was this. Now, to stay with the retro theme, if you will, here is what I made for my Chevrolet. This is a truck camper. And this is a pretty cool little model, if you will. This is indicative of the era, 70s through 80s truck camper that had like the aluminum siding, just your very basic truck camper. And you know, adding this to my pickup truck, that invokes even more great memories of the open road and when me and my old man would go camping and stuff like that. Now, we never had a truck camper. We had just a regular cap on the bed of the truck, but boy, we slept in that thing an awful lot, going on fishing trips and stuff. Great times. So here's the cool thing. Here is your 83 Silverado casting, and here's a truck camper. And I designed this to fit, bam, right in there, just like that. And I think that looks really, really slick. But there's a lot more to it than just this. Before I show you a little bit more about this truck camper, I want to let you guys in on a little secret. I didn't make just one. Nope, I made up about 30 of these. Well, actually, not about. I made up 30 of these. And I did that because I want to try to get some of these into some of your hands if you are interested. Now, I can't give them away. I wish I could, but you know, I'm a 9-to-5 guy just like most of you, so I'm not rich and I can't just give away free money. That's kind of sad. But there is a way that you may be able to get one of these pretty reasonably priced, and I'll show you, or I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this video. And so just hang out with me or skip to the end if you're in a hurry, and I'll show you where you can pick one of these up at a reasonable price. But now back to the truck camper. Now, this is a finished model, and this is the model in the raw state. And of course, I don't have the air conditioning unit attached to it. But let's pop this one open real quick and let me show you the insides. This is pretty cool. This is not glued together. And you know what? If you do end up getting one of these, you don't have to glue it together if you don't want to, because you can finish it off and show your friends. So basically just kind of push on the front, lift on the rear, and the interior comes out. Now, I will get closer pictures here in just a minute, but see, I took the time to actually design the interior as well. And oh boy, here's my big fat index finger, and look at that itty bitty faucet. Resin printers, folks, are absolutely amazing. You got your 3-burner cooktop, your little refrigerator, you got your little door for what would be your wet bath, a little bed, a little couch. Now, granted, the floor is a little high, I know that, but you know, there are allowances to make it work in the model. So it's just, you know, to give it the appearance, the aura, however you say that word, of the interior of a truck camper. And once you put it in here, it's you really, I mean, you're looking through little itty bitty windows, so unless you point it out to somebody, they're not going to notice. So this is, well, basically it, and it is really cool. Let's break it down to a little bit closer look. Actually, put it back together. Real easy. Front end goes in first, bottom end slides in, and you just kind of pull it up, boom. Just like that. It works really slick. And I showed you how it sits on the 83 Silverado Casting. This is straight from Hot Wheels. Now, if you're like me though, and you can't leave well enough alone, well, you could do something like this. Oh yeah, I went a little crazy. I had to go super old school. And this is again an 83 Silverado Casting from Hot Wheels. I tore apart, painted it kind of the mustard yellow. It's a little bit brighter than that. Gave it the old-fashioned white stripe to match the camper. And, you know, I put a spare tire on the front because, well, that's how my dad rocked his truck. That's how I'm rocking this one. And yes, these wheels and tires I designed and printed myself as well. They're not available just yet. If you guys are interested in these, leave a comment below. Tell me, because, you know, I'm not going to make these unless, you know, maybe you want them. But anyways, this is what it looks like if you go hog wild and customize your own casting. Here's an even better part about this little truck camper. As I said, Hot Wheels 83 Silverado Casting, right? Here is another Hot Wheels. This is the C10. Now, you might have to do a little bit of trimming inside, but it will fit even over these big old wheel wells if you just trim these out a little bit, sanding them out. This is resin, it sands very easy. So if you could put it on, well, the C10, which is kind of cool. And better yet, now like I said, I love the Hot Wheels casting because, well, you know, if you can find them in the store, they're inexpensive, you know, like $1.18 to $1.45, depending on where you're getting them at and etc. Auto World, let me make sure. Yes, Auto World makes this 83 Silverado. And boy, oh boy, now that is a true 83 Silverado. And look at just how good that thing sits in this pickup truck. Oh, I'm going to be making myself some more because I got several pickups. But does that not bring back memories for you old farts like me? That's awesome. And of course, and let's see here, what else do we have here? I do believe this is, I think this is an M2 casting right here. And again, it fits in that casting as well. It'll fit many, many castings. Actually, here's another Auto World. This is a newer one. This is one that just came out last year, 2024. And again, that looks really good in this casting as well. Here is another Auto World. This is a Dodge Ram. It kind of fits, but this is a short bed. So in order to get it to fit, you got to kind of open up the tailgate a little bit. Thank goodness it opens. And it fits. In order to make this fit really well, I would literally just sand down the back of this, and it would fit in here just perfectly as well. And that too looks really cool if you're into the newer trucks. Let me move this camera to the table, and we're going to get a much closer look at the camper, at the interior, at all the little nuances about it. Let me tell you a little bit more just about this camper itself, and we'll get to the part about how you can get one super duper cheap. At least I think it's super duper cheap. All right, now back to this camper. Let's look at it a little bit closer here now that my big ugly face is out of the picture. Here is the camper body, and as you can see, the windows have a little bit of a shine to them. That's because included in this kit are little pieces of acetate pre-cut to fit each one of these windows absolutely perfectly. Let me show you exactly how they work. Again, to take this apart, you just kind of push down the front, grab right about here, lift a little bit, and just pull it out. And yes, that little faucet is very delicate, and I made over 30 of these because, well, I had some print failures. These are 3D printed models, resin printed as a matter of fact. But of all of the prints that I made, even the failed ones, I have not broken one of these off yet. Knock on wood. But, you know, again, it is very delicate, so you will need to be very, very careful when painting it or handling it. What can I say? It's small, but it's cool, right? So again, here is our interior. And yes, my painting skills are not the top notch like some of you guys are, I'm sure. This was very tedious with a very small brush, and I still did not get it quite as nice as I would have liked. Oh, and by the way, these are just cheap acrylic craft paints on the interior. It's all I used for this, and I just noticed that I totally forgot to paint the sink. I'm a goober. Okay, now back to the camper shell itself. This I actually did paint with Creatix airbrush paint because to me that's the best airbrush paints on the market. But back to our acetate windows. As you can see on the interior here, you'll notice, let's look at this window back here, the one that's kind of like sort of in focus. Let me see, can I focus it better? I'm sorry, I looked down, I was talking, so you probably didn't hear me. I'm trying to focus it better. Anyways, you'll notice on each one of these windows, it looks like they're sunken in a little bit. Well, it's because they are. I designed this to allow the acetate to fit nice and flush inside of the window frame. That way you're not kind of guessing about how to place it. It's going to sit in that recess on each one of these windows. Each one has a recess. Now here is one piece of advice that I will give you. Under no circumstances, for the love of Lord Jesus, do not use super glue to glue in acetate for this project. I have tried it many times in the past, and no matter how careful I am, I invariably get at least one drop of super glue somewhere that I don't want it to be, and it will fog your clear plastics immediately, and there's nothing you can do about it except for cry. And I have done that many times. So what I suggest using is glue called canopy glue, and I will put a link to the canopy glue in the description below so you can go check it out and see exactly what I'm talking about. Canopy glue is made specifically for clear parts, and as you can see, I have no fogging on any of these. And the nice thing about canopy glue is you don't have to be super careful with it. I still don't over apply it just because, well, you don't need to for glue. But I did get some glue on the windows themselves, and it's clear. You can't tell. So this is the basic model. You get your interior, which is the base. You get the shell. You get the rooftop air conditioning unit. Sorry, brain fart for a second. And you get your acetate pieces for the windows. Now let me show you exactly how this will come if you decide to order one for yourself. So you say you want one. So you order it for me, which I think you should do because these are pretty stinking awesome. And I'll tell you the price here at the end, and you're going to be amazed that I'm selling them this cheap. I'm really not making much money on these, but I digress. Okay, so if you order it from me, you will get it in a box. It will be wrapped in more packaging foam inside the box, but it comes in this little baggie here wrapped in foam. Now be careful when you open this baggie because not everything is inside of the foam because I didn't want this part to get damaged. So basically open her up, and when you pull it out, maybe you can see right there, there's the acetate for the windows right here. We'll get to this in just a minute. I'll tell you how it works because there are no directions for this because you don't need to have directions. You're watching this video. If you can't figure it out, I'm sorry. It's not hard. I know I'm being a butt, sorry. Okay, so you pull out the model, and of course it's all taped. It's taped. I taped this up way too much. I'm sorry guys, but I don't want this to go anywhere. So let's put some tape over here. I'm using just regular sellotape, and it doesn't stick too great to the foam, so it comes off pretty easily. Okay, so 3 pieces of tape, and your package is open. And of course, just, unroll it, right? But be careful, because this is a model. When you get to the end, open it like that, and right here sits your air conditioning unit in the bottom of the base. Take that out. Again, you have your 2 pieces. You have your base, which you push down again, pull it out, and you have your base and your shell, your camper shell. And here it all is, the unfinished model. Now, this one here is not what I'm selling. This was a reject I'm just using for an example. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just not up to my standards. Now let's go back to the acetate real quick because you can see how this goes together, right? You paint it, you put your acetate in the windows, you slap it in, you glue your air conditioning unit on wherever you want it at, you glue it back there, you put it up on top, wherever, and you're done, right? So it's not hard to put together your acetate. So if you're looking at the camper from the back, driver's side, passenger side, correct? So if you look at your acetate here, oh, how well I can see, this has been cut with a laser. So you have the F in the center for front. And if it's backwards and you can't see all it's an F, then you have it upside down. Flip it over. All right. So you have an F in the front, or F in the F for front in the top, and to the left of that is D for driver and a P for passenger side. And it's laid out just like the windows are in the camper itself. Your big, I guess maybe I gotta get a better way to show this to you guys. Hold, please. All right, now we're gonna hold this real close to the camera so you can actually see it real well. Again, D for driver's side, F for front, P for passenger side. This is the first window that's in the front of the camper. I'm going to move this away a second so you can see, which is the big long window here. Again, in orientation, passenger, driver's side. Then you just kind of go down the side. You've got two windows on the driver's side, which are these two, and two windows on the passenger side, which are these two. Then you have your back window and your door window, as you can see right there. So as long as you have it, oriented the right way, and you just do one at a time, these will go in really super easy. And I suggest you use a really nice pair of needle nose tweezers to install these windows. It goes together real super easy, guys. This is it. I mean, this is really all there is to this kit. There's not a whole lot to it, which is a good thing because you don't want to be spending 1,500 hours putting something together that you really want to get together fast. I did take a long time doing this just because I'm very finicky about my paint jobs as far as the outside goes. We will not discuss my inside painting job, okay? Well, forget you saw that. Unless you thought it was cool, then give me a thumbs up. All right. Now, where can you get this, and how much can you get it, and how can you get it kind of super cheap? Almost free. Not quite free. Possibly you can get it almost free if you haven't done something yet. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's get away from this. Let's get back to my ugly face so I can talk to you. As I have mentioned, I only made up 30 of these little kits to get to some of you folks. Two reasons. One, like I said, I'm not a rich person and it costs money to make these up. And I'm not even sure if you are going to want them. If anybody's going to want them, I might be stuck with them and give them out as gifts or something to my friends. I hope that's not the case. I hope you guys like them. Second, these are resin printed. And I, again, am not a rich man and I'm a one person kind of a show here. I only have one resin printer as of right now. It's a fairly large resin printer. It allows me to print 3 full kits on at one time. So 3 shells, 3 bases, 3 air conditioning units. I can print them all at one time, but it takes 10 hours to print those 3 items. Then you have to wash them, clean them, cure them. And, like I had mentioned already, again, I work a 9 to 5 like many of you. So in essence, it takes me almost a full 24 hours just to make 3 of these. That's not a viable business plan. I would have to charge hundreds of dollars for each one of these in order to make it worthwhile. And nobody would buy that or pay $100 for them because I know I sure as heck wouldn't. So this is just a test. And if these sell out, like I hope they sell out pretty quickly, it will allow me to buy another resin printer. And then I can make 6 at a time. And if those sell out, then maybe I can buy another resin printer. You see where I'm going with this? Kind of like a little mini print farm to where I can actually start making some money. Speaking of money, if you want one of these, I am charging $15 a piece for these. Now, some of you are going to think that's a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. That's $15 is $15, right? I challenge you, though, to get on those interwebs and you find a truck camper for 1/64 scale for a Hot Wheel that looks anywhere near as good as this. The ones that I saw, guys and gals, were hunks of plastic. Didn't have any clear windows. They were just hunks of plastic, pretending to be windows which were solid. Very, very little detail. Many of them were printed on an FDM printer, which is a filament printer. If you guys know what it is, and if you don't, basically it's a piece of plastic filament that goes into an extruder that gets real hot and melts it, and it makes it layer by layer. Build it up like that. And in order to make money on those, you have to print really fast and really thick layers, and you get really bad layer lines. They just look really, really bad, guys. And I've seen those for sale upwards of $25 a piece for something that I would be embarrassed to even give to somebody. That's another reason why I designed my own, because I knew that I could do better. So $15. Now here is how you could potentially get these super cheap. I am selling these on the Whatnot app. If you do not know what the Whatnot app is, it's kind of like that Evil Bay, where you can go in and bid on items. But unlike that Evil Bay, to where you have to go and place a bid and may have to wait, a couple of days to a week to see if you win, these are live auctions. These are live streams, and these bids go from 10 seconds to 30 seconds to 40 seconds. It just depends on the streamer or the seller, how long they want their bids to last. And like the Evil Bay, the part that I'm using, a lot of these streamers or sellers have a marketplace or a storefront. That's where I'll be putting these on, is in my storefront. I'm not doing the whole bidding war thing. I'm putting in a storefront. You can just go buy one. How can you get one potentially super duper cheap? If you are not a Whatnot member yet, or it's not a member, if you're not signed up for Whatnot, I will put my link in the description below. If you use my link and sign up, you will get a free $15. How much was this? $15 to use on Whatnot. Now, you don't have to buy mine for $15. That $15 you can use on Whatnot to buy anything you want. Use my link. If you don't want this, get the free $15. It doesn't go away. You don't have to use it right away, but you'll have it in case you want to get something. If you're already a member of Whatnot, I don't know, maybe you can sign up under your girlfriend, your wife, your kid, different phone number, something, and get that $15 to get this really cheap. $15 does not cover the shipping costs or the tax. That will be on you folks. And I can't, tell you what the shipping is going to be. It's going to be dependent upon where you live at when you purchase this. I do know that their shipping rates are really, really low compared to a lot of places. Whatnot actually talks to the post office. Everything ships USPS, and they get really good rates to the USPS. So it shouldn't be too terribly bad. So that's how you can get one of these as cheap as I can possibly make it be without actually giving them to you, which I can't do. Again, I have 30 made. So when this video goes live, those will be up on my store ready to go, not beforehand. So there'll be 30 there once this video hits. If these sell out like I hope they do, I will make more. And if these sell out like I hope I do, I have other things that I will be bringing to market at different price points. Some things like this. Let me show you what this is. Let's go back to our old Auto World casting. Love this truck again, but check it out. Oh boy. Again, a truck that has a bed, needs a load. Look at that. And these are not going to come painted. These will be raw, just, gray resin like this. They won't be painted. I also have up here with me this, which is, well, it's got a little hatchet in it, and it's got some logs in it, some split wood. I mean, I actually have more things that I've designed, which I didn't bring up here with me. Again, these are not listed yet. I will do that if you guys like this and buy it, as well as maybe the tires and rims for this truck. And folks, I have a lot of different things I've designed for 1/64 diecast, and if this works out, I will bring them to market. I'm not looking to make $1 million off this stuff. You can't. I'm looking just to make enough money to buy my supplies, to be able to move forward with my hobby of slot cars and diecast cars and model railroading. Just a little extra spending cash. So, like I said, I won't be breaking the bank trying to sell these out unless you guys are willing to pay a lot of money. If you are, then pay it. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I mean, come on. There's your original Silverado Casting with that in it, and again with this. I mean, these will be coming if you guys like what I'm doing, and let me know. Again, let me know. Leave a comment below that, hey, I like this stuff. I want more of it. Send it, sell it, I'll buy it. Those kind of comments. I'm playing with my camper, sorry. I'm not going to make it unless you tell me you want it, because, well, why would I waste my time or my money? That would be kind of stupid. All right, I think that is just about it. What did we go over? So in the description below will be a link to the Whatnot app to sign up to get yourself a free $15. And I will tell you one thing, because I am always going to be transparent. If you use that, I'm kind of being a little selfish here, because if you use it and you buy something, it doesn't, like, again, it does not have to be that truck camper, but if you buy anything Whatnot gives me a $5 credit on their app just for getting you to buy something. So I could actually buy a lot of diecast cars if a lot of people use this link, which would be pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, I get a kickback from Whatnot. It's how the world works, right? And if you guys check out the canopy glue, it's in the listing below too. Again, that's going to go to Amazon, and I'm an Amazon associate member, so I will also get a little kickback from that too. That's how I keep doing what I'm doing. You know, the buying the resin for stuff like this does not come out of my paycheck money. That's to pay the bills and live on. It comes out of my fund money from all the sales and the stuff you guys help me out with. So again, okay, so Whatnot app, check it out, use it. It's really, really cool. I will be doing a Whatnot video here very soon on how I buy diecast cars on Whatnot, how I try to find really good deals, and how to use the app carefully. I'll just give you a little hint. If you've ever been to an auction, and it's a live auction, you kind of know what I'm talking about. People can get a little crazy, and you can end up spending more than you really should. So I just actually told you, but I'll just, we'll talk about how to curb that. So I hope you guys like this thing. I really hope you check it out. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Give me a thumbs up if you like my designs. Go check me out on Whatnot, my little store there. It'll be Roads and Rails Hobbies, same as my YouTube channel. Again, the link will be in the description below. So just click on a link to take you right to it, so you ain't got to worry about looking it up. Guys, I love you. Thanks for spending your time with me. This has been a blast. I love doing this stuff. I love sharing it with everybody. And I hope you guys like it too. And until next time, take care and God bless everyone.